check those out.
All right, everybody knows everyone? Okay. All right, so the first thing that I think we should complete is this budget part. Ms. Veronica needs us to figure out how much money we want to go after.
All of it.
So I've actually started a draft, which you have a copy of. And I can go through it line by line. And the first section is project staff personnel. And I put down the program manager. The amount of 50,000 came from this business plan. So my question is that amount reasonable?
To hire a single person for what, 1 year, or what would be the duration?
8 months?
8 months?
Right.
Yeah, and they would just be in charge of ensuring that we implement it the way that we said we're gonna implement it. You know, keeping us moving, things like that.
Frequently, grants will put a restriction for the amount that you can charge for administration or program administration. I don't remember if this grant has that. Usually it's around 10%.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a percentage.
Yeah,
So
and
we're
that's
gonna
not
have to
including
ask,
staff time for Onyx's time, for example.
That's not counted. I just put that on here, but I don't think that we're really eligible to compensate my time or even the communication and events coordinator, because that's part of our job.
yeah. So that's why we're trying to see if
Okay.
another agency would do
Well, look at me.
I think it's a fair amount.
Yeah, I do.
know nothing about this.
it. If it's
Yeah.
10%, we gotta move that 215 to 515?
Yeah,
That's all.
No,
one way or the other.
yeah, that's true.
And
I was thinking the
what
same
if they
thing.
only have another job?
I mean, have we estimated how many hours we expect this person to put into this?
Mm-mm.
That's why we have this.
Yeah.
No. No idea. And Jennifer's not on here.
Mhm,
She's still in Greece.
mhm.
All of these people who go places without our permission.
I heard she'll be back like Wednesday or traveling, moving on Wednesday, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say if we need to talk to Jennifer, because she's basically volunteered for it. Or we volunteered her, or she, whatever. And she does work another job, so her time would have to be cleared with Healthy Valleys.
Mhm.
Is everybody in the group okay with her being the lead?
Who is it?
I don't know.
Jennifer O'Farrell. She's the executive director for Healthy Valleys.
She's the one we were on,
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yes, multitude of talent, experience, expertise, you name it.
I was very impressed with her.
Yeah,
She's done these things before and she's very good at it.
So she's going to do it as a volunteer, is what
No.
you're saying?
No, we would have to pay, we would pay her and make sure that her time
Doubling with her.
her time with us would have to be coordinated
In
with
that
time
case,
with
50,000.
her full-time job, which is not really a full-time job. But she just finished the community assessment for Healthy Valleys at the Healthy Valley Foundation. And that's where some of these things came from, was the fact that people are asking for community involvement, for art, for public spaces, for public art gardens, but public spaces and all of that good stuff. So time-wise, this just all fell together at the right time. So stars are aligning.
mhm.
So it's good, but yeah, we would kind of have to talk to her and
So we'll circle back. and-
circle back with that one.
Moving to program operating costs. These numbers, which I kind of bumped up a little bit, the Diamond Valley Lake budget that Jennifer had sent
Oh, from
in a packet.
15 years ago,
Yeah,
I'd say increase it by at least 40%.
so there's transportation costs of 3,000. That was originally.
I think it was 1,500, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Here we go. It was 1,000, so I bumped it to 3,000. Storage. originally 1,000, I made it 2,000. This, their budget had school supplies at 2,000. I put it at 2,500, but I wanted to know what is the school supplies for, because I have to write it down in a narrative, what are the school supplies for? So that's a question. Same with, I'm assuming the school awards and the public awards are awards that we're giving to,
The artists who
Artists.
are designing I don't know, I wasn't at the meeting where you came up with.
Yeah, I
Is-
wasn't here on June. Did you
is
talk
this-
about any of
this
this on
was-
June fifth?
Is
No.
this the budget from that Diamond Valley from a few
Mhm.
years ago?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're just using it as a template.
okay, I did see that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so we don't have to have school awards or public awards, but it's
I-
nice to have those things.
I think it would be really, I don't know, in my vision, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking it'd be really, really cool if we could, like even the Art Association could sponsor a contest for the school students and the
Mhm.
community, all ages, to participate in designing the art that would go on these mastodons. And I think it could, I don't know, I mean, Tina was talking about this whole thing at the school before I was involved with this at all. And so I hate for it to be taken away totally from the school.
Are you, so then how do we, because we can't just,
What?
we can't just slide money through us to that organization. Like you guys would have to sponsor it on your own, right?
But could
No, I'm
we?
saying we would sponsor the
Unless we made a grant
contest.
out of our
Yeah.
money.
And then, yeah, I
It's
got
like, how do we give them the credit?
right.
No, I think she was saying that they would actually sponsor that piece, right, that you're speaking about.
Yeah, we
The
would,
funds would come from you for that, not through
What-
the grant.
for making a contest, yeah, but not for the awards that you're talking.
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
We don't have that kind of.
It would be like they establish criteria for their portion, but it would be funded out of this grant.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Okay, so the Arts Association,
We would advertise and we would try to get people to participate in it.
and so you guys are.
Would
gonna
you
be-
And work
receive,
with the
receive
school.
the
They're gonna find,
submissions for that as well?
Yeah,
So
and
you
then
guys are gonna-
trying to judge, all that stuff that's involved with a contest. I think that would be an appropriate, what we could help with, because I'm trying to think what exactly we can help with.
Can you clarify what the contest is for? Is it to decide how to actually paint them? Or is it
That's what I
decide
was-
After the painting, because I think that personally, I feel like the painting has to come from the artists that are designing it. And so in my thought, they should all look quite different.
Yes.
There
I
should be an overarching theme perhaps of Hemet City,
Right.
history of, something to that effect, the
Right.
message of Hemet, whatever, we can pull out some things that
Right.
to push people in the right direction. But it has to be their idea,
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I know I was thinking.
but I'm not sure how that would fit in with like a contest to decide how they look. Are you speaking about after they're created?
I'm saying to find out, to get the
To get the
creative,
designs.
to get the designs
Yeah.
for these, the different mastodons. I mean, how many are talking? 20, maybe? Is that what you said, 15 or 20 mastodons? And I know you were talking about having the students do them originally. But
Some of them.
some of
but
them,
then
well, that's
are
what
going
I'm
to be
saying, if that would be a way to have the students involved in maybe a portion of them, and then have them open to the rest of the community. And then,
Yes.
it would be, I don't know exactly how you would do it, but have, like a outline of two sides of the mastodon. What would your vision for designing this based on Hemet's history and culture?
Hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Miss Veronica?
Mhm.
Is what we're talking about right now gonna help you finish writing the grant?
Okay,
Sorry.
we can put it away then.
Thank you.
I think we were trying to figure out what the school
Yeah,
supplies. and
if it was
so forth were.
buried, what?
Well, I think when we submit the grant application, then between that time, between submission and award would be the period of time where the committee can decide what criteria or message do we want on the Mastodon. And then
And we can put the arts
when we get awarded,
in charge of that?
the program manager coordinator can message that out to the community artists and the school district and the students that want to be involved in doing a Mastodon.
Okay.
So I was thinking that the school awards and public awards would be like plaques for those that get commissioned to do the work on,
To go onto the Mastodon or at
No,
the
no.
exhibit,
for them to
take with.
say, thank you for your art and job well done. And here's a plaque with their name. So-and-so did the driving through Hemet Mastodon, or, just an example.
And how many awards are you envisioning?
There's 26 Mastodon.
One for everybody.
Oh, so 26 for each, or
One for each one.
awards and public awards?
13.
Well, that, yeah.
13 and 13.
Well, it depends on how many you got, but a total of, it would be 26 times whatever.
I do have a question about art supplies for artists. Would that include like the paint and everything for the
Yes.
stuff for each one? So that's a total?
This is the total, it's 500 each times 26. Did I calculate that right? That's how I got the 13,000. Oh. I'll find my calculator on this one. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So
It's five,
She could help you.
what did you say, 500?
500.
It's like a,
Is $500 enough?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's a stipend it says for the commissions of 13,000 for the.
So does that include?
Initially, I think it was. They had it at 2,500, which is really low, and that was like 300 per. And they had 40. And so that was.
That
The
was-
budget for that didn't
that-
really make
that-
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did math, that's like $62. You get,
Well, you gotta
500.
figure for each one, you're talking paint, you're talking a sealant, protect it from the sun, you're talking, and just your paint by itself, depending on how big they are, that's gonna be a lot right there. And the way that you would figure that out is how big they're gonna be, take square inch. And there's a
Formula?
there's a formula for figuring out how much paint you'll use and how much paint you'll need. I can do that. Also, you want to think about drop cloths, brushes, the sealant by itself. You want to make sure you seal each and every one from the sun. So you want to use a mural sealant. So those by themselves are super expensive. So I think $500 should be
okay,
just being reasonable from an artist standpoint of view of what I would need to do one. That's
What
not
did you
do you have a
say
number?
before brushes?
for brushes,
Drop
drop cloths.
What is that? Oh,
Your
oh,
foot, yeah.
Tarps. Tarps, pretty much, yeah.
You wanna?
But,
So pop it up to 1,000 a piece?
yeah, that would
is that
be-
realistic or should it be higher?
that's realistic.
Okay,
That's
I think
definitely
so.
realistic.
Okay.
But out to the side of that item, you have stipend to the for the artist
stipend might
commission
not be
to
a
do
good
the art.
word. Yeah, I can remove, that's just my notes.
Okay,
Okay, so 1,000. That would be really
2,600. Or 26,000,
1,000,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, fine, you want that extra zero.
Okay.
is the art? Miss Krupa,
Is what?
is the art and culture, the art association? She was talking about like branding and stuff and getting the word out, right?
Mhm.
Under marketing and printing. Would you guys be comfortable having them responsible for what it would look like, and then we could send out whatever they come up with?
As far as a marketing program, I think in reading some of the support letters, just about every entity is willing to kind of almost do their own promotion.
Mhm.
But I think the group as a whole should come up with a marketing plan. and also the design. There's enough talented people on here that it would be an interesting conversation to see you all butting heads on design.
And actually, the strategy is one of the questions that I have not completed on the application.
The strategy for marketing.
Yes,
Uh,
I know we talked about social media, TV ads.
You said direct marketing, wasn't it?
Yeah, direct
Yeah, the
door.
mailing.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
every
Yeah,
door
that's-
direct.
That's the one.
Separate, I got
Yeah,
that here.
every door direct. The Western Centers said they put it up on their digital board. The library is going to put it on their digital board.
I can get that fixed.
I can put it up on our Parent Square, our Peach Jar.
Right.
Yeah.
Concert Association can put it out on their website and on social media for that. Valley-wide, I'm sure would probably do the same thing. So I
You
think
said-
everybody ended up saying, I mean, that they would use their own special tools that they have for marketing, which I thought was really kind of cool.
You said Peach Jar, and what else?
Parent Square.
Does that replace Aries?
No, Aries still exists, but Parent Square is our communication.
Got
hub
it. Thank you.
For parents, yeah.
Aries is where you get your grades.
Yeah. And you can find parent info there and things like that.
Okay, so is 20,000 enough for,
No,
oh, okay. So what do you guys suggest
Because we should have a running ad.
on TV?
Wouldn't it be great if we could do an ad like off the digital boards, like that's on the 10 or the 215?
actually, and
Well, you know,
Why not?
on the digital boards, they're free for nonprofits. It's, you put it up for X length of time, and if they change it like every 8 seconds, but you can plop it out there a few times during the year. So yes, we could go for digital marketing on the 10, the 215. Probably the 215 is, no, they're both important. The skin, you'd have to pay for the skin on the old style boards.
Right.
And that can get expensive.
We don't have a lot of those, but I know there's one like in San Jacinto, right by the, near where I
There's
live.
3 of them out here on 74.
I am oblivious.
Yeah.
But there's don't have a lot. I think it might be worth getting it out that way.
Billboards, is that what you're talking about?
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all,
There's some of them are taken forever because the cannabis people and the insurance people just book them up for a year.
Oh, okay.
and that's what's out there.
Yeah.
Because I go there.
But we had a meeting with Lamar actually when we were in Las Vegas. And we're trying to work some magic with them. So keep your fingers crossed on magic. But that's what we talked about, the digital ones along the freeway, that if you're a nonprofit, they will put it up for free.
Wow.
So all depending on space and time. But that's a great idea. It really is.
Okay, so 20,000 is not enough.
No, 20,000 is not enough.
What would you like?
Would you
that
double
number
it?
to be? Any
Do we
number?
have to pay for it when we put something in the press enterprise from us?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yes.
Big
we have to
time.
pay.
big time.
It depends on the number of words.
Well, that's what we can take into account if we put it in the press enterprise.
Both I don't know if, let's put it this way, if a nonprofit puts it in, because public agency is not considered a nonprofit when it comes to advertising in the press enterprise. Nonprofits get a better rate in the Valley News and in the press enterprise. So
And
we could do that, but they're still expensive. And I wish Lori was here because she has
Do
all
you
of that
think we can
info in her head.
reimburse one of the nonprofits that pays for it?
Well, yeah, we can include it in our budget.
Yeah. And they can run the ad.
And they can run the
The
ad.
cost just
Yeah.
comes out of the,
They just give us the invoice and then we reimburse them.
Mhm.
We just need to know how often and what we're gonna say. Well, that's part of the strategy.
The
is-
size and all that, and that's all gonna determine the cost.
Does that help you answer that strategy question? Or you need more?
Yeah, I got it.
You sure?
Well, I still need a number to the
Yeah, I'm
marketing.
going to write a number.
50?
That's fair.
That's good.
Yeah,
50 for just the marketing?
yes.
Okay,
The thing is, if you don't ask, you don't get.
yeah.
Yep. Well, I think you're gonna, that little 215 is not gonna be a problem anymore.
Yeah.
The percentage you needed.
I think there was a minimum and a maximum for budgets in this Arts in California Parks program, wasn't there? Wasn't it? Minimum was noted, but
The
was there a
minimum is
maximum?
15,000.
15,000, I remember
And then
them.
what if any maximum? is
I
there?
don't think they gave a maximum. I know that they are, it's 8.5 million over 3 years. So if you take 8.5 million, 2 point something million each year.
We're not asking nearly that.
Yeah, 500,000 is nothing. Drop of the
We
bucket.
do have the 24,000 for printing and mailing right under there,
Right.
so.
Do you think 25,000 will cover that every door direct?
I calculated it based on what Lori had said,
Okay,
85,000 residents or household,
Yes,
which is divided by 5,000 households, which is 1,500 direct mailer, and I got that number.
okay,
There was a formula.
all right.
Would we want to do two?
Do I have to
When,
do-
when talking about the contest and what's going on, and then one before inviting to come to the event.
Mm,
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Well, of all of the different organizations are putting it out in their website and their social media and the community, you know, even Facebook and all that,
yeah.
seems like it would get a lot of exposure.
And I have a feeling we'll, if we get this and go through it, that we're gonna have more
Interest.
and entities and
Contributing
organizations
towards.
jumping on board and saying, we want to help you promote
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Because it's such a good thing.
Okay.
Stick with one?
Also, are from the contest point of view, would we be asking the masses for their input? Or is it is it more of a targeted group? Because I'm wondering if we don't have a way to take that feedback in, why promote the contest part of it to them?
So what we
If we're
could
not, we
do
don't have a
is have
way to receive.
an afternoon or evening where the artist put out, let people let the public vote. Your little ticket in. That could be an interesting
Yeah.
way of doing it.
Mhm.
And that's a great marketing tool too.
Yeah, that's true. So it's community input.
Mhm.
That'd be good.
If you're gonna tell them about it, you really have to receive their input.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of telling them it's something that they have no say in? You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
But no, I volunteer. We can.
So the
in the
contest
library,
is
yeah.
to.
I could get some
Contest
kids
for
involved in that too.
To select.
I think that's.
I think it will select, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, different entities, entities and individuals can come up with their idea on what they want to do to a mastodon.
Mhm.
That's not a good way of saying it. How they want to design the artwork on there, because some of those that were shown were absolutely unique,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
even an upside down one. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Moving on to subcontractors. I don't know what the name is of the Mastodon construction vendor. So that,
But it has one been named or selected?
Oh,
it was part of the
Original.
original.
Oh,
There was a
Kind of
gentleman that had put out an estimate way back when,
Isn't.
and whether he's still around, I have no idea. And Tina and I were talking about that, and it kind of looked like it was something he was prefabbing in his backyard out of
That's what
chicken
it
wire
looked
and a
like. It
barrel.
was talking
And
about.
it's like, yeah, we need something a little bit more
Yeah, I think
professional
it
than chicken
might be
wire and barrel.
repricing or
So
going back out.
I found two companies that will make the mold. They don't have the mold for a mastodon, but they will make it based on a picture that you give them and based on the size that you want. They are running, I think, around $2,000, depending on the size that you get a piece. And I also found a community that did this project in 2002. They actually did it. They had 100 of them. And I found a teacher, I'm trying to get her to get back with me, who recently refurbished and was in the news for recently refurbishing a couple of them.
Are they mastodons?
Mastodons. I know. funny.
Kathy, would you get?
Same year that we
my
came up with the
office?
idea. So if you want, I figured that I would find out if you guys were actually into this, but I think we need to guesstimate the price a little bit.
Yeah.
And I would say not underestimating.
Yeah, I would
'Cause-
say.
I
maybe-
estimated at 3,000.
Yes.
I'm
I
thinking
think
3,000 is
I think that's
probably
good.
a good,
And you need the mold made as well, most
Yes.
likely. They have a mold.
this is Max. This is our mascot.
They have a mold clearly in this city, but I think that we could also do something that we like if we don't like theirs. So, yeah. So you might want to put in about 5,000 for a mold making as
So
well.
there may be a mold already.
There is a mold because theirs are beautiful. They're very professionally done.
What
They're
city
so-
are
What city?
Oh, you're gonna call me on it. I gotta look it up. I'm sorry. I don't know off the top of my head. I haven't thought about it in a little bit, but I've called her twice and left her messages and said, I'd love to talk to you more about it if you can.
Probably in Italy.
No, she's been at school. She's in a school, so anyway, I will figure it out if you want, but I think that the pricing that I was given was between $1,500 and $2,000 a piece, depending on the size. I think 3,000 is a better,
And then tax, so I included tax.
yeah, intact.
Okay, so I'll add the 5,000 for the mold.
Under subcontractors, are we trying to have people that can make these things out of balloons?
So that's something
And
that
little-
is not in here, is little swags and giveaways.
Remember that little
Put in,
balloon thing you were talking about?
Yes, I want the little balloon elephant.
Or Mastodon.
Yeah, you know
It's an
how
elephant.
the
It's a
balloons with the
mastodon.
feet on it?
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yes.
yes, got
The
it.
balloon. You hold
Okay.
on to it and it kind of like.
It only, it
I know.
floats low.
Yeah,
It floats low, doesn't it?
so there's, I did not include that in here. Swag
But there
and
should be something
balloons.
for swag.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what, give me a number, please.
Especially if all of you organizations can
That'll
put
be
your,
for the marketing.
your
Okay.
marketing stuff inside of the bags or whatever we come up with.
Yeah, that's a
It's,
great idea. Which,
I was also thinking of like, I want to market stuff. I want to like, I know it's a little off piece, but I want to sell like little ornaments and how.
we talked
cute
about that in
Christmas
cups, you know.
and Stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's cute.
Those would be like your vendor.
Little
fees.
mastodon
Yeah.
erasers.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yes, the daughter of a friend of
Elephant
mine
looking eraser.
oh, crocheting, and I've asked her if she will make me crochet me a mastodon, and I sent her a picture of Max.
Oh.
So we're gonna see what,
She'll come up with something.
she'll come up with something.
Mhm.
We also had talked, and this
10,000?
isn't necessarily an expense for this group, but to getting it out there, like the quilting associations and whatever, but to create a mastodon quilt for their next show.
Oh, that could be a
And
great.
they could raffle it off for their, I mean, for their own
Yeah.
income and fundraising. But, you know, whatever your specialty is, create something in your specialty and use it as a fundraiser for your own organization, just to promote.
The
Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Did you all read what Brittany from Western
This is
Science
something-
Center
Yes,
wrote?
that was very cool.
Oh, my God. And I had
Yeah.
talked with Alton, who is a curator out there the day, couple days before, because he had some questions and some concerns. And by the time we got done, he was sharing what another city back east had done with, not necessarily with mastodons, but with doing public art like this.
Maybe
But
3%.
then he had said that this valley, which Brittany incorporated,
3%?
this valley is the only valley in California in the west that has this particular mastodon. So Max is special. He's a Pacific mastodon, whatever.
This area.
And there aren't any others in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Southern
That was very
California
interesting.
area is the only place that has mastodons. So
Not the La Brea tar pits?
they don't have mastodons, they have everything else.
Huh.
And there's a big difference between a mastodon and a mammoth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their top notch is higher, their ears are lower,
And
their eyes are lower.
tusks
Well,
are
She's got
different,
it.
their trunk. is different.
I painted them before. So.
Yep, so yeah, we are very, very special. The Science Center really loves the fact that we're going to start promoting mastodons again.
So they say, in social media, this number could be different, not on social media, but in social media.
Okay.
If you're trying to sell something, you want to take 3% of the impression. So if someone sees your video, you get 1 million people to see your video, you can expect that 3% of the million is gonna buy.
Okay,
So,
that could be 300,000, right?
so out of 80, what would be 80,000, what would be the 3%?
2,400.
That would buy one of those balloons she's talking about.
Write that down, balloon.
Okay, you're selling tunes.
Yeah, well, the reason I did that on my phone, by the way, I did not know that answer.
I was
Um,
so impressed.
I thought the same thing.
So I was thinking like if there was more than one, like if we're really trying to figure out how much money should go into marketing, it's
Yeah.
to figure out how many people do we expect to buy stuff like this. So, okay.
And then when you guys reach out to the
For products.
quilt people,
Uh-huh.
we have to, I'd like to see those wood carving people.
Oh, the wood
Yes.
carver.
Oh, that's a good
yeah, the
idea.
Wood carvers.
We have some of them in our gallery too.
We have a group coming in Thursday, a quilting group coming in Thursday that I can
Okay.
drop.
And then at Talkwitz,
hints.
Mhm.
the last event, I don't say the last event, but Talkwitz had where the community came out and some people were like singing. Oh, it was
Yeah,
the community
Plaza.
pantry had their bowls.
The art plaza.
Oh, yeah.
Palazzo, and then we had
Yes.
another one called the Art Showcase. the
Yeah.
Art Showcase after that.
Those people who do the wood, the kids who did the
kids.
wood.
The woodworking, that was from San Jacinto, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't our people.
I talked to
But they
them.
could come. No,
Birdhouses and stuff.
I don't believe we're doing woodworking, but
It's just in honor of,
At the art plaza, it was, I talked to them about.
We did the welcome plaques, and that was wood carving, and then they had the bird cages,
I think they were
Houses.
from San Jacinto, but when I, maybe.
they were at Talkwitz, they wouldn't have been from San Jacinto.
yeah, we invited people.
Oh, did they?
San Jose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do that often. We try to include them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
because I have a welcome by.
But that could go under what you're talking about when people, they could come here and be like a vendor.
Yeah.
And do their quilts, the wood carving, people could purchase their stuff and then go right back into their organization somehow.
No, we can invite them to the event.
Yes, they can display their wares. And we'll invite the governor and his wife.
Sure.
Any other,
So is 10,000 a good number? I still need a number.
I don't
For the
think so.
swag,
For
for my
swag,
balloon.
for swag, yeah,
Yeah,
give yourself 10,000.
okay, thank you.
Petty
Didn't
cash.
think so.
I think it's on the low side.
I think it's on the low side too.
Okay, increase it.
15.
15.
Okay.
Just throwing out numbers there.
What's your thinking? Tell us, no?
It's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Mastodon, it's called Mastodons on Parade there.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, man.
And
we're gonna
there
have a
are some
field trip there to
amazing
see that.
pictures
Let's
from
do it.
the ones that they did. But I just got them on, yeah. I mean, they're really they're kind of small here, so I can't make them any bigger, but they're really different. If you look at them, they're all very, very different. And I just,
Give us a link to that.
Yeah, that
well,
would be
this is
great.
just my document that
Okay.
but I can send you the copy of my document if you want.
Sure.
They're all really different and unique. And I do like
Alright.
the mold. The mold is really cool. It's like,
Looks
it's
real.
not cartoony at all. It looks like a real,
Okay,
I don't think we want a cartoony version. We want something that looks really.
I've got a
This one in
question.
particular, like you can.
How come they had a mastodon in Indiana when we only have them in Emmett.
They must have had some mastodons.
It may be different.
Maybe it's
kids.
not a-
That's what I'm curious.
It wouldn't be.
They didn't know the difference like she was talking about.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
and there's a link in this, I'll
I think
give
it
that
said
to you
in
as
that
well.
article.
Thank
it
you.
says special.
That shows the local news interview with the
Yeah.
teacher who just refurbished a couple of them with teachers and stuff like that. These were 5 by 6 feet.
Oh,
So it's
Large,
smaller
bigger
than,
ones.
oh,
Yeah, we want bigger ones.
Now, our,
One bigger than 5 by
it's an
6
8
feet.
feet.
I was gonna say, how big is our Pacific mastodon?
8.
Huge.
This
8
the
feet.
proposal was 8 feet. Right?
But think about the logistics of painting something on a ladder, et cetera. You get to a certain point and it does become a little bit more difficult.
Well, I would say,
Scaffolding,
um,
actually.
I wouldn't go so high as to need scaffolding. I would do it to where you can use a small ladder and get to the top of it. Like you said, maybe 7 feet, not quite 8, but pretty tall.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, well,
It's
like
like
I
the top of Christmas tree.
I know. I see that. Sounds like a
I
ladder
did
to
a
me.
mural down the street and it's 13 feet tall. So with a small ladder, I was able to get all the way to the top of it. So being realistic, I don't think anything under 13 feet, I think 7 feet, it would be a good height.
Yeah, I wouldn't go much higher because it's also very different to paint down
Down.
onto something than flat onto a surface where you can
Right.
use
Yeah, and you have to.
very
and
different.
You have to figure also if they're painting it, they're gonna have to, if they're on a ladder, we might wanna do on, like, on the smaller side simply because you have to get up on the ladder, paint, get down off the ladder, look at it, go back up on the ladder, paint, come down off the ladder and look at it to make sure everything is
Yeah.
in scope. So that's a lot of work and we wanna make sure that it's not overwhelming.
And who's doing the actual painting? Is it the people who win the contest or is it hiring people to paint the mastodon? Because I mean, if you're,
Questions.
if there's somebody, I mean, I don't, not even see students on the ladder painting big giant mastodons like that.
Well, I think you need somebody who's
thought
pretty
we were
professional
mentioning.
at
Yeah.
that too.
You're gonna have to do a lot of wrapping, you're gonna have to do a lot of bending with your,
You want it to.
you
look
have to have an
sort of,
eye for it, yeah.
I want the students
What
involved.
kind of-
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
I want each of the high schools at least to have
Yes.
one of these because
Yeah.
this was originally the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go against the committee, but I'm gonna really push for that because this was an idea that I brought up from the very beginning of the year with my Hemet Arts Now committee. And I believe they can do it. They make beautiful art. So
I think we should have professional designers and partner a few high school people with him so that he can mentor them or she
Yeah,
can mentor
that sounds
them.
I'll tell you, some of
And
the
also
art,
a lot of the groups out here that are nonprofits, that the youth centers, they have people that they want, they told me, if you do another mural, let us know so we can have some students come
Right.
out and help you. So there are already students itching to do this.
I would say that if you think about our art programs, just our art teachers are very good art teachers and they're doing a
Mhm.
wonderful job of bringing out the best of the students. And these would be done with our advanced art students. These would be done in an advanced art setting by a class. So I don't think this would be an after-school activity. It would be something that would be done during class. We even have IB art students who could be involved. So I don't know. I think our art teachers are actually, they're capable of
I
doing this
think
with them.
some of the art that was shown at the
Library?
Union of Art.
what it was called, Evening of Art.
Evening art, evening art.
Your thing, you.
I mean,
And in the gallery.
in the gallery too, I mean, just beautiful. I mean, very professional. I mean, and to just say that, so if you're having a contest, the community is deciding who's going to be painting. And they're not gonna be, I mean, I don't know exactly, we're off track again.
Can the
So-
contest be who gets to paint one of the 26? No, versus judging all 26? Like, hey, Valley, Hemet, San Jacinto, we're looking for 26 artists. Submit your work.
What if we're
And then
looking,
we-
what if we're looking for 22 artists and 4 are guaranteed to go to the schools.
Yeah, I think there should be some.
Artists, and then the contest involves the public part of it, but the students are guaranteed a chance to do
I
it.
think that would be.
I don't mean to be pushy about that, but I
No,
really,
no, I'm
think-
sorry.
I really feel that this is an important piece of this. So much so that I would be willing, like, I'm almost willing, if that isn't the way the committee wants to go, to sponsor the four for the high schools out of our budget. Like, that's how strongly I feel about that we would find that money. So, yeah.
I think so.
How many high schools do we have?
We have 3 Valley and then, well, technically we have 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have 6. One is mostly online, but we have 6. But we do have
You need
artists.
6 then.
We need 6, yes. Yes.
What was the 4 you were talking about?
4 with the Valleys and Hamilton.
Mhm.
But we actually have Alexandro and AOI as well.
And
So
they
6.
might decline. They might be like.
What about West,
No,
I don't think they
what
will.
about Western Academy?
I was at ABI.
They're on their own. It would be nice to include
Well,
them.
considering their
They-
mascot is a mastodon.
Yeah, I think it would be great to include them.
They don't
They
have an
just
art
are a
program.
charter, they're like on their own. I don't have a lot of say in what happens at Western Center, but I'm sure they would appreciate it.
I know they don't have an art program there.
Not as
No, but they
such.
have students.
But they have students who
that
attend.
work and win the congressional art competition.
Mhm.
Yes.
They have.
We
Because
should
we
give
have
them
kids
one
who are
student
interested.
from
We
them.
should give them
Get in.
church on.
The opportunity.
And then don't forget the community college,
Yep.
Citizen,
so
yeah.
for MSGC.
So we'll let all the.
And the
schools
remaining
have
would
one,
be
And
artists.
the rest is up
I
to.
think that would be really nice and it would be a great connection to the schools.
Are there any other organizations that we could prioritize?
We could take one.
Well, yeah,
I think so.
HPA can take one.
the Art Association. Well, I mean, we could do that. It depends how the competition's even structured. I mean, if,
It's just more for the selection, right? Who's gonna select which students at Western Science Center, Alessandro?
Mhm.
I think
It
those
would
are
be a
all be
group
group
effort-
projects.
group
Those are all gonna be
effort.
group projects.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're not
I
gonna
don't
be
think-
competing
yeah.
for their idea. They'll compete at site for their ideas, but they'll
Yes.
have to learn how to problem solve and compromise and figure that out. That's part of like the cycle of being in a group art project. And that's good for them to have to do.
So maybe should we just move away from this idea of contest?
Well, how do we decide who the other 20 are?
Well,
If there are 50.
are we saying that we want
We can
to
put that then.
do
We want
career
to see your-
development
Yeah.
for artists?
Remaining
And
as the
and
contest.
so, we're saying in the grant application that we're doing career development and interests in furthering the arts with the community.
that's
So
why I thought the
if
contest.
we aren't having artists, actual artists work on it, then that's really not.
Yeah, because if you're allowing everybody in the community to come up with their ideas, you really are involving everybody. Whereas if you just say, okay, Hammond Valley Art Association is going to take one and they're going to take one or whatever, it's limiting, I think, the scope of what we can do for this particular, I mean,
Even with the remaining?
Yeah.
So like we set aside some, 6 of them for the high schools,
Yeah.
one
7, 8.
for art association, and then one for.
Mhm.
So we set
MSJC.
aside 8, MSJC.
yeah, and then the
set
rest
aside
of them would.
And then
And the rest of them.
18 are public domain.
Okay.
Working.
Yeah, I see that working. I was not understanding what you're saying, which,
But
That's your idea.
are there other art
It's evolving.
yeah,
associations
it's.
within the city?
If there are,
or
they can,
neighboring?
they can be part of the thing. and
Yeah, they
submit-
can be part of.
Submit your art.
Yeah.
Submit your idea.
Yeah.
But these, if you are, they've already bought into it, so they're going to do one. And then, because that's over half or half.
18 is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot still. It's 2/3, more than 2/3.
Do we have to be that specific in the application?
No,
No, okay.
this is.
I think
yeah.
that's
Say-
where the
she says no, you
contest
say yes.
is on the remaining 18.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think that sounds.
Yeah, because I just wanted to involve the community. That's what we're trying to do.
No, we're.
And there's a lot of people that don't maybe belong to anything, that are very, very talented and creative and might.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't This is a good opportunity for them to make
But the
some
rest of the
those
budget.
connections.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
bodies
And-
and
and-
security
Technical
services, so,
stuff that
yeah.
we can figure out on.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'll revise this and get the total.
Okay,
I'm hoping that we get some.
okay. So what else do we need to do before you have to go? And I've got to be out of here by 5:50.
You drawing me?
No,
Another
I'm
meeting
drawing and
5:30.
sketching out
Right.
the surfaces that would be necessary
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Uh,
ahead.
for a design for a mastodon. Are we looking, because you have the top, you have both sides. And then you have the front and the back that you work on, like you can paint the trunk, there's different things.
Get the
you can do
bottom.
With that, yes. So
for the
we need to look
square
at
inches.
different planes that are gonna be on the mold, so whoever turns something in, we need something that looks kind of like this, to where you have the top designed, you have the side designed, and if you want to do anything with that, you can design
You
that.
can design it however
But
you want.
all of them need to be in the same format when they submit them.
Creative.
Can you do them 3D? You can-
Well, that
okay.
will,
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
yeah, that'd be cool, but just for the sake of keeping it simple, so the people in the community can basically see what it is, the artist is gonna tighten it up once the design is chosen. But until then, just have a general format that everybody that wants to apply, or every artist that wants to apply, that they have a format.
I think they should
to follow.
draw a picture of a mastodon and paint it too.
Yeah.
Because I think for a contest, if we're having
Oh,
that,
yeah, you have to have a
Yeah.
conceptual.
if somebody's looking at that and they're gonna go, oh, yeah, and they
and
can't
somebody can
visualize
say,
it.
We want, it's an American flag.
Yeah.
So be
There
creative.
is one.
Yeah,
There is, okay.
Yeah.
there
There's
is
an
one.
American flag.
There's an American flag. So
They did.
whatever you want with that American.
You can
flag.
do, they did camo, one's camouflage.
I think we saw pictures from that now that I'm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw some, I think they probably pulled from the same site.
Mhm.
Veronica, you good? Or
Yeah, I'm gonna make revisions, change the numbers, and I'll send out a draft. I did give you a draft of the grant application. Maybe if you can send that out,
okay, I'll send it.
have everybody take a look at it, because it does have some questions that are missing answers.
And you
I think
gotta see it
Jennifer
around.
filled at least
tonight.
one in, and I think Brittany filled one in.
I have a
What I thought from them
question.
was really, really good.
Yes.
Since we're doing the 8 schools, would that be under school supplies?
No.
No, it'd be under,
The art
We-
supplies
we're
would
gonna-
be under the art supplies.
you know, also.
So
I'm
each
saying
of the
the
schools would
student
get,
groups, yeah.
each of the schools would get
Just an allocation out of the total pot.
a
Yeah.
house in each.
Everybody gets the
Okay.
same.
I was curious.
Okay.
All right, everybody good?
Think so. So you're gonna send that out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who all haven't
50.
we gotten letters from? We needed a letter from the Art Association.
I brought what I'm having trouble with it. So, I mean, I have a letter, but I don't know. I'm not a secretary. I don't know.
Kathy and Veronica can help you.
You'll help me?
Yes, ma'am.
You got the HCA. Did you get Ramona today?
I did not get Ramona today.
Okay, then she sent it to me and not to you, so I will send it to you.
And Rosa,
So I
she
think there's
said
a
she'll
size
send it
limit.
After we get a amount.
I'm sorry?
And William from Russell Lee's office said after he gets this amount,
Oh, okay. But you'll vote?
our budget amount, then she'll send out her support.
There is a size limit on the number of letters of support that I can upload, so I think we need to determine which one is priority.
How many
Okay,
can we have, do you
I
know?
won't bother nobody else.
It's
then.
two
Got enough now?
megabytes,
We
two.
have a lot.
2 megabytes?
Yeah, two.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah,
Everybody in the world wanted to say, yep, we'll do this.
I have a question about that, and only because I've never done any of this kind of stuff before. But the letter was like a template that we were supposed to just put in our,
mhm.
but does that matter? Because I changed it, because I'm going,
And changing it is good. I noticed that
that's okay, because I'm going,
would take just a paragraph
Mhm.
and add their own personal thing to what they were going to do. Like the Western Center and Metropolitan both had different things, what they would help with advertising and marketing on it.
oh, I didn't
School
have.
District had a
Yeah.
special one, HCA has a special one, Ramona has a special one. So just that middle paragraph was, and our organization will do blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
And it's good.
I had some of the same stuff, but I was.
That's like how I do things.
You're okay, Allison. I really do. I think what you've got is good.
Oh, well, and then I gotta figure out how to get the red out of there. Somebody told me I right click to get rid of the Hemet Valley Art Association red.
Yeah. Up at the top of you're using Word.
Well, I know how to change the font color, but it didn't work. I would not get away from red, but they said if I right click and then there's something to do, but I can ask her again. I just want to make sure.
Choice of colors or something.
Send
Oh,
what I
no.
have
Can't
from
do it.
the other project.
I tried to do that. It wouldn't.
I don't want to overload people's emails.
Good. And then do I,
Just send it to
Yeah.
this.
what do I do with
I
it?
don't wanna be
And then
like,
you'll email it to Veronica.
you
I
get
like
an
your-
email, you get
I-
an email, you get an
your
email.
I sign it.
Okay, I will,
Sign
and then,
Can you come by the library tomorrow?
I will.
Sorry, I'm so
that's okay.
stupid. I
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
give her up
because
on
we
this
can
teacher
Print it out
in Fort Wayne and see if I can.
and then
know
I can
who is
scan it and
involved
send it to
and
you.
where they got the mold done.
Okay.
And if we like the
Thank
mold,
you.
just go with that.
And
If we don't,
Right there.
Yeah.
Fred Mastodon was found there in 1968.
there you go.
Has anybody seen the bull
about-
collection that they have? It's,
Sure.
one of them is in
They-
Houston and they're kind of doing the same thing we're doing with the mastodons, but only they did them with bull.
No,
Yeah, they do. Idlewild has deer scattered around the community. Vancouver, British Columbia has bears sitting on street corners.
Well, I saw this in like 98 when I moved to Switzerland, and that's where I saw the cows for the first time all over the city. So that's where I first started to know this project.
I got that thing from Idaho yesterday. I picked up one of their brochures, the deer walk, and it shows who made the, and a little bit about each one. I don't know if
Would
we're
the-
interested in that.
Would the promotional, the marketing and stuff, would that cover the cost of printing the maps? Because eventually we wanted to do a map. Would that cover that?
That's what it has. It has a map of it and then it has all the
Yeah.
different donors and
Yeah,
that sort of.
that was Alton's suggestion too, having a scavenger hunt later on and.
I love scavenger.
Yeah.
When I sent that
Art
one
walk.
about Aberdeen, Scotland, and they have a
Yeah,
art walk
yes.
yeah,
with their painted walls.
But we would first have these all
All
where the
different.
kickoff is, right?
yeah.
And then we're gonna move up. We need to also decide their homes, like at some point over the not
that
too distant
large.
future, we would need to know where they're going to be
That's a
housed.
really good point.
Auction.
And there's money involved in moving them and getting them stuck in the ground.
Yep.
That is another cost that I wonder needs to be on here.
Mm-hmm.
The installation cost once they are no longer sitting in the park.
Add a line for installation and
Okay.
anchoring.
Permanent installation. Anchoring.
They have to be anchored.
Transportation and
I'm hoping that she, because she's involved in the project now, might be able to steer me toward the right person. But if I don't hear from her, I'm just gonna go to the city council. In fact, I'm just
So
gonna
how
go to
much
the
back?
city council now, because she hasn't got back to me.
I put
It was only a year ago
minimum
or so
of
when she redid them, so I figured she would be really excited to talk about them. She
minimum.
Right?
not wanted to get with
15,000.
I was
You know,
thinking
I'm
about 1,000
gonna
per.
talk about what I do.
Proud of my kids were.
Or your stuff is going to spam.
I called her and left
I did
a message on her room phone in her classroom.
Mm.
So I've tried it. I've really tried to get with her. I called her school. I found the number. She probably thinks I'm a stalker, but.
Well, you are, so there it
I
is.
don't know. I'm sorry to say.
Well, you guys are free to go. You're,
And dismissed. Good. I have another meeting.
Before everybody goes, I have a question about the committee itself. Has it moved from an ad hoc status
No,
to a, no?
we are an ad hoc. That's why Malcolm and I are
Is
here.
it to be approved by the city council at a certain point?
If we get the grant, they have with. city
Only if we
council-
get the grant?
City council has
no,
to.
we can continue to do
approve.
what we're doing.
Well, can report out, but we
Yeah.
don't want to at this point.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
when we get awarded the grant,
yes, when,
That's important.
the city council will then approve it.
yeah.
Okay, did you, I think there were I am so sorry, I'm still not all here. You needed to get some agreement from the city that we would be able to make some changes as far as is that totally different, like I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Are you thinking like changes at a park?
Yes, no, well, yeah, well, no, we talked about this, putting the mural pictures.
Oh, yeah, this is separate
Right.
from murals.
Yeah,
This is just the mastodons to get this
Only
grant.
Yeah.
mastodons.
We've been focusing on this just because the deadline's coming up, what, the 14th? It's coming up really soon.
Okay,
So this became like a
Yeah.
focal point.
Okay.
Yeah,
The actual
'Cause we had talked
program.
about some other,
yes.
The arts,
projects.
yeah, the arts and culture
Yeah.
program is a bigger thing that we will
Yeah.
work
Okay.
on once we get this
That's
application
fine.
sent
I
in.
just, I had missed that one meeting. I wasn't sure.
Are
We'll
there-
come back to the drawing board and then we'll make Veronica go after more grants.
Yeah.
Are there any more costs involved to the actual kickoff event? Do you want to think about anything that might be needed to do the actual?
We have some of the
Is there
nitty gritty in there,
Anything
like
else?
porta potties and different things. in
Security.
the park. So we'll,
Yeah.
that's kind of like technical in-house that we say, okay, to put on an event in the park, it's gonna cost the city this much money, so therefore throw it in that bag.
Yeah.
And staff has those numbers, so.
And there's nothing
And
else
she
that we
can-
want to
yeah.
work in there?
She highlighted, I think I saw your notes, you highlighted Christmas parade. So whatever we
Yeah,
did to throw
the
the
cost.
Christmas parade in the park, she could use probably those
Yeah.
same numbers. Theoretically.
Yeah.
Yes, you might, yes, okay. I was thinking like if we had a jazz band or something there, we might need a generator for electricity and
Yes,
things like that.
yes, because we will have music.
Yes.
There's.
But we have.
Anything else?
So,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, see, those are the things I don't know, so that's why I
Yeah.
like just throw that out there.
That'll just drive her number up.
well, no, because we have it at Public Works. We could just
We just
go
need
to our
to
Public Works and say we need. a
use our-
We need to consider what is the public works side, what they're gonna need to do to help us.
Right.
Yep,
That-
setting
that would be
setting the stage of the
Internal
park. and-
logistics,
Yeah,
just further down the line.
We can throw extra
but if there's any funding involved-
$30,000 in there for,
Oh,
Closing down the street.
you know what I do need
Uh-huh.
is, stage and lighting.
30,000.
She likes that number. Jay.
Good number. Good number.
check
Gives
with
you enough-
Vanity on the cost of her stage.
What?
We could check with Vanity on the cost of the stage that they're bringing in for the summer event.
What else? Stage, I think that was it.
What's the approximate weight of each mastodon? Do we know?
We have no idea.
Oh, sorry. If we are not doing 8 feet, I need to change all the language in here because it says 8 feet. Are we making them 7 feet tall now?
everything in there has already been sized
It's
to 8 feet.
feet, yeah.
Let's leave it at 8.
You had to be specific with writing the grant, what the size are gonna be, or is it just for your calculations?
Because the mold it may be impossible to do in 8 feet, maybe they do a 9 foot.
Yeah.
I don't,
Or
think they're gonna
lesser.
hold us to that. But
Well-
let's leave it at an 8 foot.
Yeah, okay.
I think you have to estimate something, so why not? I don't think it's-
8 foot proportional. Big boy. Max is big. That's it.
Bye-bye.
That's what.
Okay.
Comfortable for back support. That's a pretty
No, I
great
didn't.
place to put chairs.
They're
These chairs,
ergonomically
They're ergonomic, yeah.
built so that people can't complain when they sit in
Sit
here
for
for
a
meetings.
long time without